Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give us a call if you guys are looking to improve your credit score, lower your car payment, buy a car, trade in a car. If you're looking to purchase your first home, if you're looking to purchase a rental property, we can help you. Give us a call today, 877-205-7771. Talk to you guys soon, and thanks again.
Hello everyone, this is Calvin Russell, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit Consultation. Hope everyone is doing well today. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons why you got declined for a credit card, okay? And this is the most common reasons why I always see it. Of course, I know because we have a lot of clients, and a lot of times, we'll get clients, they'll tell us why they got declined for a particular credit card or whatever the case may be. And of course, we necessarily look at that and say and try to look at, okay, why do people get denied for certain reasons? For certain credit cards. And it's not so much it's not one or two things, and that's why we've narrowed it down to 5. Okay, let's go straight into it. Number 1 is inquiries. All right, so I know a lot of people are trying to get inquiries removed. It's much more than just getting an inquiry removed. Okay, you cannot apply for a company, get approved with that company, and then later down the line say, hey, that wasn't me. Because now you got approved, the account's open, you look stupid, okay? So it's not a good look. It looks, because at the same token, there are people that they don't know that there's a new account in their name, and they may not be monitoring their credit that great, whatever the case may be. And now there's an account in their name, the credit card went to somebody else. And so they're trying to prevent fraud, identity theft, and credit card fraud and stuff like that. They're trying to prevent that stuff because it does happen. So when we try to make it where it creates a gray area in the industry, we don't want to, it's not a good look. You just don't want to do something like that. I say that to say, because we get calls all the time, hey, can you get these inquiries off? We've gotten them off before, but at the same time, just so you guys know in advance, I don't feel comfortable enough to sell you on. Of course, I try my best not to sell anybody, but I don't feel comfortable enough to try to tell you guys, hey, listen, that's what we specialize in, getting inquiries removed, because it's not. And the reason being, some of you guys put too much emphasis on inquiries in the first place. Granted, there are companies that will easily do business with you regardless of inquiries. But as your score starts to improve and you start to get higher tier credit cards and things of that sort, along the way, they don't like to see that you are doing business with everybody, okay? And also, too, you got to look at the bank looks at it. There are people that apply for these credit cards, right? They get approved, they rack them up, and then they file bankruptcy. Some people are just messed up like that. They do stuff like that. I've seen it. And so again, the banks are all about risk, okay? And you have to look at what is your risk factor on paper. Here's another thing. Banks cannot tell if you got approved or not. Now, for example, if you had an increase 6 months ago and they look at your credit report, that doesn't mean that you didn't get approved. A lot of times people get approved and then they just never move forward. You can easily get approved for a mortgage, approved for a car, and never sign the paperwork, okay? So of course, if they don't see the account on there, then they don't know. The safe assumption is that you got denied, right? That would be the safe assumption to go. So when you have all of these inquiries in a very short period of time, keep in mind, if you're applying for a credit card and they see other credit card inquiries, we're not talking about if you're applying for a credit card and then you have all these auto loan inquiries, okay? Because they can tell that you're trying to look for a car. That's understandable. But when you go to bank A, but you also apply at bank B, C, D, E, F, all those other banks, they're like, okay, is this person going through something financially? Okay. So again, you got to think like the bank thinks. So that's number 1. Number 2, derogatory items. Listen, I know you're thinking to yourself, okay, I got denied for this credit card, right? But at the same time, if you owe someone else money, the bank sees that you owe someone else money. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to give you the credit card per se, because there are plenty. I've seen plenty of my clients. They say, hey, I got this offer in the mail. I applied. I got approved, whatever, right? And when they did that, they was like, well, I still had this unpaid collection on my credit report. I had child support. I had an eviction. I had whatever the case may be, whatever their situation is. And so banks do approve with the derogatory items, just not every single bank. And depending on what the derogatory item is, you got to look at how much it is, who it was with, okay? How old is it? Like, for example, if you have a collection, let's say with a bank, and then 6 months later you try to get a credit card with that same bank, of course you're gonna get denied. Now wait a minute though. If you had with that bank, some banks after a period of time will give you another opportunity. I've seen that before, where one of my clients, she had a credit card with a certain company, and things went south, right? And sure enough, she tried to get a credit card with them I think about 18 months later, and they approved her. Okay, she never paid that collection, from the prior whatever. But keep in mind, the original company, they had already sold that to a collection company. So technically they got paid something, they closed it out, but they do have a database. And I think this is what a lot of people just keep forgetting. Yes, there are a lot of financial institutions, but at the same time, for the most part, it's the same banks playing in the game, okay? So you can't owe one bank and thinking that you're never going to see them again full circle back around. You will sometimes. It's unfortunate, but you will. So derogatory items do matter. We're talking late payments, of course, charge-offs, repossessions, you name it, it's negative, right? So some banks are cool with it, some people are not. And some banks are cool with it, even if you have it, and they will approve you. But again, every bank is different because everyone's credit report is different. Number 3, payment history, okay? We'll keep it short. You can't have like a tremendous amount of late payments that were recent. Again, they go by what's recent. Not what happened, I would say 6 months ago is kind of old, 9 months ago, 12 months ago, something like that. That's when it's starting to age a little bit. And the aging process, that's for good things and bad things. You may have had a credit card where you were flawless, but you close it out. Yeah, well, now all of that good history is starting to get older. The same happens with negative history. You have a late payment and it was like 6, 7 months ago. Then it's probably not going to be that big of an impact versus having a late payment last month or currently being late, okay? So in short, try your best to pay the bills on time if you can. Number 4, overall credit score. Again, I see people apply for, they'll apply for like a credit card at their bank, right? I did a video on this, all right? They'll apply for a credit card at their bank because, and when I say their bank, I'm talking about a place where you have your checking account there, you have direct deposit, you may even have a savings account there, right? They see that you're making money. Why are you getting denied there? Well, again, they have access to everything. They can see everything. So your credit score still plays a role. Just because your money is there doesn't mean that you get to bypass, okay? And some banks just do not work with people that have certain scores. Some banks don't work with you if you have a 500. Some banks don't work with you if you're under 650. But then you have some banks that specialize in people that are under 650, under 500. And again, which is called subprime, by the way. That's a nice word for bad credit. So again, these are things to keep in mind, when you're going through the credit card, searching process. And of course, number 5, your credit is too light. What is light credit? Light credit is, for example, you only have like one line of credit, or you got a few authorized users, or it's authorized user accounts, or it could be trade lines. You pay on somebody else's account, whatever the case may be. Banks want to know what is something that you've built. Don't get me wrong, trade lines do help in the sense of how, in the algorithm and pushing the score up. But again, they're going to look at what have you done, what have you built. And a lot of times they don't factor that stuff in. Some banks don't factor in, authorized users. Some banks don't factor in student loans. So if you look at with your credit report and you say, okay, authorized users don't count for everybody. Student loans don't count for everybody. So what are some accounts that you've actually built that you paid back? Are they seasoned? How long have you had it open? Things of that sort. And so again, this goes back into number 4, because you may have that checking account, you may have direct deposit, you may not have much credit, and you apply, for, it may not even have to be at the bank, it could be online, but you're assuming just because they see your money every single week, which of course does make sense. I mean, they see that the money's coming in, right? But they need to see on paper, who you are, who you have relationships with, as far as, have you borrowed money? Have you paid it back? How soon did you pay it back? Was your utilization high? And again, there are banks that specialize if you're just starting to build your credit. So you can't start shooting for the moon, when you're starting to build your credit. I always tell people this: look at your mail. Your mail will tell you where your credit is. If everybody wants to do business with you, I promise you, you'll get stuff in the mail. If they don't want to do business with you, I promise you, your mailbox will be dry. Okay? So either way, that's the 5 reasons, the top 5 reasons actually, why you probably got denied for your credit card application. Okay? Of course, if you like this video, like it. You want to share it. And as always, be sure to subscribe, as we got a lot more great content on the way. And thank you guys so much. Have a great day.